So I recently posted a skit about diversity in fiction, and that went about as well as I expected it to.
Wait, so you expected it to go poorly?
Of course I did. It never goes well when you talk about diversity in writing.
Then why'd you post it?
First of all, I think it's a very important topic that we need to talk about more often. Second of all, every time I post about it, the hate comments go so crazy that the post goes viral, and I end up meeting some of the right people in the process.
Huh, that's pretty ironic.
Anyway, that's a little thing I'm going to try going forward. You guys love the skits so much, so I figured why not bring it into my regular content? To be fair, it is kind of boring if I just sit here and blab the entire time. Getting back on track, the sketch, not the skit. I keep on saying skit, it's a sketch. But the sketch I'm referring to got some of the nastiest comments I've seen in a while on YouTube. If you do want to see them, they're going to still be up on the original sketch. I'm not taking them down. Look, I believe in the freedom of speech, and that includes the freedom to expose yourself as a racist asshole on the internet. Which a lot of these people did. What were they thinking? Before we go any further, I'm going to play the actual skit for you guys. That way you don't have to come off the video and come back to it. Like I've done with previous skits that haven't gone so well in the past, I'm going to kind of explain my intentions after I show the video. And then I'm also going to point out some things that I think I could have done better with my acting and my writing. Although, to be fair, I think this one was actually pretty straightforward. But I'll play it now.
Is there a reason that every single character in this book is white?
I just felt like the characters being white was more realistic to the settings of the story.
But this is a fantasy book. I mean, it's not like I didn't include any diverse characters. Look at this one. He's black. Yeah, but he dies 2 chapters after you introduced him, and he basically has no personality. You basically included him just to say that you included him. I don't know what you want me to say. How am I supposed to write a black character? I'm not black. Just write a regular person. You're writing about elves and ogres, and you can't write about a person with a different skin color? I mean, the ogres. I'm gonna stop you right there. You're clearly racist, and I don't want to read this anymore.
Damn. Cancel culture, am I right? So one of the things that jumps out at me right away in the sketch is it's a lot of information pretty quickly. I always like to cover a couple points in one sketch, and since I don't get that much watch time, I have to kind of condense it into a shorter amount of time. I would love to make 3 or 4 minute sketches on YouTube, but I just don't feel like at this point people are that interested in watching a full-length video where I'm doing a sketch. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong about that though, because I would love to do full-length sketches if you're interested in it. Anyway, when I'm covering all these ideas in a short amount of time, it tends to get a little messy, especially with some of my delivery on certain lines. In general, I was trying to make fun of stories that have a large cast of solely white characters while also making fun of stories that basically have one black character that basically dies right away. I was making fun of token characters. I was also trying to emphasize the racist author character blaming wokeness instead of their own writing. Now, personally, I don't find writing diverse characters to be woke. I find it to be good writing. Back when I was 12, I used to write every single character as a mirror image of myself. All my characters, male or female, but mostly male, all had pale skin, freckles, and green eyes. Did that make me a racist? No, of course not. It made me a terrible writer. A terrible writer that was incapable of writing unique and interesting characters. I've since grown from that. Back to the racist author points, a lot of the comments in this post were complaining about me calling their favorite authors racist, which I didn't do. I wrote the author character in my skit to be racist, which he was. It's a sketch. A sketch. It's a sketch. Sketch. The author character in the sketch was racist because he compared a minority group to ogres. He wasn't racist just because he wrote a white cast. The point of the skit was not to call any one author racist, other than the author in the skit. Sketch. It's a sketch. Look, writing a book that lacks representation is not necessarily racist. However, actively avoiding writing characters of any other race than your own is racist. And if you go through the comments of that post, some of the excuses for not writing characters of different races are pretty ridiculous. Other people made points about writing stories that are historically accurate, and for history buffs, that's great. For some of the other comments, if you're going to use history as an excuse, you should probably open a history textbook. You read some of these comments, and it's almost as if they believe that people of different races didn't spawn onto the earth until like the 19th century. Anyway, I really wonder why there's so much pushback when it comes to people talking about diversity in fiction. I think having a diverse cast of characters in your novel makes it feel more real. And for me as a writer, as ridiculous as some of the concepts of my book are, I still want it to feel real. Now, a few comments were focused on this woke push for representation these days, and I have to say, I understand the point. I thought the South Park episode on Disney was pretty brilliant. And in a response to people's complaints about Hollywood, I am not a fan of changing a character's race just to check a box. If you're thinking about last second changing the race of one of your characters to give more representation, I think you're missing the point of all this. Now, some of the few comments I actually appreciated from this post were people who were concerned about writing diversity and getting it wrong. That's a completely valid fear. My best advice there is to write a character that is diverse, not a diverse character. No good character is solely defined by their skin color. Now, I'm no expert. Look at how pale I am. So when I publish my book, I'm going to try to look for a diverse group of beta readers to try to give me honest feedback about what I did right and what I did wrong. Sure, there's a chance I might make a mistake writing a character of a different race, the same way I might make a mistake writing a character of my own race. That's why I think it's important to get a good group of beta readers so they can help you find those mistakes and learn from them. Look, at the end of the day, some people are going to hate your book, so there's no point in trying to please everyone. For me, if someone puts down my book because one of the main characters is black, I can live with that. Once again, just like the initial sketch, the point of this video is not to get you to change the races of your characters or to call anyone a racist. The idea is just to get you thinking about diversity when you create your fictional worlds. If you disagree with any of the points I made in this video, or you want to further discuss any of the points I made, feel free to respectfully reach out in the comments. And if you thought this video was helpful, please be sure to like it because it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your works in progress.